staff time and everything to set up a budget. And if departments are overrunning the budgets, and maybe they have good reasons to do that, but this board needs to be appraised of that, because that's a lot of money. If those departments, that's like, say, excluding the sheriff and jail, if those departments would operate within their budget, that would give us $750,000 of a fund balance carryover. So I had to bring that up, and I just hope that that's not the case in next year's budget.
I do intend to recess at 4:30. I know one supervisor has some other questions. We'll have to bring those up at 1:30 tomorrow. But my last comment before we recessed was one that Supervisor Pinches just brought up. And I believe this board has made the statement before, and I would like concurrence from this board that we have a policy, or we issue a policy that says never again will cost overruns take place like this as they have this year. If it means issuing each department head a letter saying that they are personally responsible for their budget, so be it. But in years as bad as this one that we're just concluding, and this year coming forward being even worse, 1.179 over budget. Yeah, I'm looking at a list that says significant offsets to the above, and that adds up to $1,179,000. And that includes the sheriff and the jail as far as I'm concerned. We can't sustain overruns to that amount. And we need to draw the line in the sand, and the only way to do that is to make an overall statement from this board saying we will not incur these types of overruns again. Now, I won't be here next year, but we don't have the ability that the state does to borrow from the lottery and do cost overruns, or the federal government either. We have to draw the bottom line and make things balance. And unless we make that grand, important statement, we're just going to continue down that pathway.
Chairman, that policy already exists.
Well, we need to reinforce it then, and never again take a hit as big as we've taken. So with that,
Chair Wattenberg?
Madam.
At the appropriate time, if I could do a short wrap-up, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Is there any other things before we go to that wrap-up for the day's activities, and before we adjourn until, or recess until tomorrow at 1:30?
Just one more thing. I just kidding.
I told you.
Ms. Glassy, please wrap it up.
Again, quickly, too. So I wanted to just say a couple of things and then confirm when we were coming back tomorrow and what was on the parking lot. One is the comment about quarterly reports. In fact, we do quarterly reports and take them very seriously. And the February workshop is built around the second quarter report. The May workshop features the third quarter report. And the information we got this morning is until the closeout is completed, we can't do the fourth quarter report, but we do intend to do that formally, and it will also give the reasons for why there are overruns, and there are different reasons, and some of them make sense and some of them make less sense. So you will get that as soon as we're able to get that information and put it in our format. There is an existing policy that holds department heads responsible for staying within their budget, and periodically the executive office and the board do send out reminders for all concerned, and I would concur that that applies to all department heads, including elected ones, and that it's important that we look at that. So really appreciate your attention, the obvious reading into the background of the budget that was done here, and kind of the question and answer, which keeps us on our toes. What I think we're coming back with tomorrow at 1:30 is with this parking lot, of those items that are up there. I've not heard anything else that would be added to that list, and was interest from HHSA in doing a brief report on where they are with the mental health budget, but they're willing to do that tomorrow afternoon if you don't have time today. So just want to know that that's one thing that would be coming forward, as well as this parking lot. And other than that, if there are any other new topics that would come up, we would appreciate knowing now so that we can be prepared.
And I too would ask that if any board members have known problems with the budget at this point, that they convey those to the staff to allow them the courtesy of having some homework time to be able to bring it back tomorrow. So you can do that individually or now, doesn't matter, just provide the staff the courtesy of a heads up. So with that, we'll conclude today's activities and festivities and recess till tomorrow. So. Yeah, and a regular board meeting tomorrow starts at 9 a.m. Budget session will take up at 1:30.